Alfissimo International. Today I will talk about SGW bypass, interfaces, adapters, extensions, and diagnostic software. I get a lot of questions about this stuff, and I wanted to clear up, or at least hopefully clear up some of the confusion that may be out there surrounding these components. Let's start with the SGW bypass. This is the most important thing to have to make all of this other stuff work. So, 2018 manufacture date, Giulia and Stelvio will have a security gateway module on the vehicle located on the steering column. The Giulia is located on the midway up on the right-hand side of the steering column. On the Stelvio, it's on the back side of the steering column, up high, kind of difficult to get to. This is needed. You need to unplug and plug into the SGW bypass in order to be able to read and write with the Multiecuscan and AlfaOBD software. That said, you can read with all of the interfaces, not a problem. You can read codes and so forth. You will not be able to clear anything or do anything else besides reading the car. So an SGW bypass is very important, and you will need that for all 2018 manufacture date. So you need to check the door jamb of your vehicle. There's a black sticker there that gives you the manufacture date. If it's in 2017, you don't need this. 2018 up, most of the time we'll have an SGW installed. This is Alpha. I have seen some that haven't, and I have seen other cars that have, but for the most part, to be real frank, most 2018s will have them. So SGW is definitely a product you need to do any diagnostic work at all. This includes oil changes to brake changes to anything else you want to do, race mode, or any other diagnostic work, logging your car to see what's going on and so forth. Now, extensions, also made by Stuff for Car. These are the 18-inch extensions. These are great for the Stelvio folks so that you can plug it into the OEM harnesses will plug into here. These will plug into the SGW bypass. That way you don't have to ever go back in and do it all over again. But they come as a pair. Two pair, you can loop them back together if needed, if you feel like you want to take out the SGW and leave it somewhere or whatever. That said, you can leave the SGW in place. You don't need to remove it. There's no warranty issues. There's no running issues. There's no problems. There's nothing. Leave it in. Don't even worry about it. The extensions are nice to have, though, on the Stelvio. I would just buy the extensions and then keep your SGW plugged in. If you ever feel the need to unplug it, you can and loop it back together. So we're going to move on to interfaces. This is the the OBD Protect USB interface. I feel like this is the most simple version to use. It's very high quality, out of Germany, made very well. No issues with it whatsoever. It's pretty easy to set up as well. This one is our OBD Link LX. This is a high-speed interface, Bluetooth. You can do long proxy alignments with this one without an issue. Once these are sold out, we will not be replacing these. Instead, we'll be using this one, the Star Diag CAN MX High Speed, which is basically the same as this one. This is PC, Bluetooth, and also iOS. Not iMac, but only iPhone and iPad compatible. This is also high speed, very reliable. You can do full proxy alignments with these, not an issue. So it just depends on your skill and how, you know which version you want. I would say most of the time this is a great option, but these are nice to have because they're small, no wire. If you have an up-to-date computer, these work really great, or iOS, iPad, and iPhone work well with these as well. Adapters. For the Giulia and Stelvio, there's only a blue and gray adapter. I don't have the yellow adapter here at the moment, but that is for the 4C. Not needed on the Giulia or Stelvio. These are to get into other modules or computers on board the vehicle. Both Multiecuscan and AlfaOBD will prompt you to use these. So until it prompts you, you don't use them. You plug them into here and then into the OBD2 port when it prompts you to use it. I always recommend to buy these anyway, so you have them on hand. You need them for all the interfaces here. This one, this one, this one. They all are needed for this. I do have a Canticar Multiplex, which is more of a professional interface that does not need the adapters because they're built in. But that's a more expensive unit, but it's definitely available again, which is great. It's made in the Ukraine. Really nice unit. I use it all the time. It's fantastic. It's fast. It's easy. But for most people, this one is plenty, and these two are plenty. Adapters are always a plus to have. You can buy them later. You don't have to buy them right away, but if you decide to do more with the vehicle, like adding race mode, you need them. But doing, oil service and brake service, oil service, you won't need them. Brake service, you may. Okay. Now, what's the difference between AlfaOBD and Multiecuscan? Well, not much. They both kind of do the same thing. It's just one is a little more AlfaOBD. This is AlfaOBD that we're looking at right now. This one is a little more old school looking, if you will. But it does have a few more functions that Multiecuscan does not have. But I don't think you should worry about it too much. It does have things like if you're changing the suspension ECU and you want to recalibrate the accelerometers, you can do that with AlfaOBD and you can't with Multiecuscan. But in all reality, I don't really think you need to do it anyway. So it's just there if you need it. It's always nice to do once you do replace the ECU, but don't let that hang you up buying AlfaOBD versus, say, Multiecuscan. They're both fantastic. This is Multiecuscan. It's a little easier to read. You can do whatever you need with this one, including race mode to many other functions of that you need to do with the vehicle, like service and so forth, and a few adjustments here like paddle shifters to whatever. here's kind of an example of what you get with multi-ECU scan. You can graph and log and do lots of important things to maintain your vehicle and clear codes and figure out what's going on, oil change, and so forth. So that is basically it. I will make a separate video sometime of how to set these interfaces up on both multi-ECU scan and AlfaOBD, but for now I think that should explain the difference between the two softwares, what the interfaces are for, what the SGW Bypass is for, and the extensions as well as the adapters. Again, both softwares are excellent, so it just depends on what you're looking for and what you want. I wouldn't say either one is better than the other. It's just like I said, AlfaOBD has the few extra little things, but they're not that big of a deal. So that's it. I hope that clarifies things about all of this, and I appreciate you watching. And if you have any questions, let me know. Jason@alfisimo.com or 760-444-3121. Also on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which this is going to be on. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.